Have you ever been surfing through all the live stream apps and stuff, all the things that you can do on here? I was just turning myself into 1,000,001 things. And then I found this and I was like, ooh, that's what I look like with bright red lipstick on. Maybe I should start wearing bright red lipstick. I don't know. Let me know in the comments section if you think that I should start wearing bright red lipstick. I always wear like this nude color, this very pale pink, or I also have like this dark plummy color that I like to wear. But this particular, mask that we have going on here, it's red, and I'm like, I kind of like the red. Maybe that's a new thing. Maybe 2020 I should start wearing red. Although, hopefully, when I actually have red lipstick on, I won't put it on my teeth like this app is doing. Yeah. So, how's everybody holding up? Things are interesting here in the Texas area. Texas is one of the states, and not to bring everything back to the world health crisis that we have going on, but it is everywhere, right? It's everywhere. It's just the topic of our time right now. Everybody's panicking about it, and there's a lot of negativity around it. And I was just been, I try to stay out of media stuff a lot, it doesn't mean that I'm not educated around it. I do read up on the news. I do follow the stories. I do a lot of research in my free time around different things. I just tend to try to not get so bombarded with everything that is going on, because it really is everywhere. And the more we lean into the media and everything that there is, well, the more crazy it can be. Oh, almost like this. Let's say, watch this. You guys want to see something funny? Not coronavirus related, but watch this. Huh? Crazy. Anyway, in the land of being bored. No, Texas. I was reading about Texas last night. I was checking out, because, hey, I live in Texas, and all my kids live in Texas, and my grandbabies live in Texas. And, well, Texas is a big state, too. We got a lot of people here. I don't know how many people exactly. I think like 30 million or something. But we have a lot of people in the state of Texas. And it is interesting the way we run our government is kind of more small, old school, I guess you could say. It's more small-minded in the aspect that we really kind of lean in to let our cities run what is going on. So our state government does not come in and take place in a lot of different things. So Texas is one of, I think that there's 12 or 15 states ahead of us as far as putting in a lot of mandates and a lot of control stuff. Texas has not done a lot of that. It is making its way through. A lot of schools have been pushed out to the end of April now. I know that just recently the Dallas yesterday and the day before, Dallas and my local area, Plano here, everything kind of just got shut down. So as of yesterday at 5 o'clock, there's no restaurants, there's no theaters, there's no nothing going on. So it's really a lot of self-containment. The stores are getting very bleak in different ways, and yet not. It's very, very interesting. And then I went off and I was, as you saw probably if you're friends with me on my personal page, on my profile here, not just on my business page, if you followed, I was off and about because I went about 20 minutes north of me to where my ex lives, and the father of my youngest two children, and we are 50-50 on our custody with the boys, with our 5 and almost 7-year-olds. And I went over to take them out to the park, go play, have picnic lunch with them, get them out, because they just got back from Chicago, where things are getting really, really crazy up there, to see grandma and everything, and just to make sure they got home because I really do think that martial law is probably going to come into place, much like it is in a few states already, and countries such as Italy and everything. I'm sure that that's the direction that we are headed, and with Texas being kind of on the back end swoop of this, and our governor kind of letting everybody just do their own thing, which is good and bad all in itself, right? But I know that we're kind of leaning toward that more than likely. Anyways, went and took my boys out, and it is amazing, just the 20-minute difference between my house and his house. And in my land, it's like Zombie Land. I watched Zombie Land 2 last night. That was interesting. Not as good as the first one, by the way. But I love Zombieland. It's interesting, but that's me. I love zombies. I love the gore. But I went 20 minutes away, and my land, it really is, it's this hardly anybody is out, and then we have had this great overcast for a long period of time. He is kind of in an area up there not 20 minutes from me where the wind blows a little bit different, and so the temperatures and the climate, the weather is always different where he's at than where I'm at, so it's a little bit different. So I enter in, I'm like 15 minutes away from my house, 5 minutes away from his house, and all of a sudden there's this hustle and bustle. It's almost like there's a normalcy to life up there. The stores have cars in the parking lot. The restaurants are all running. The gas stations, people are just getting gas. Drive-thrus are operating. Starbucks is still open and fully working. All this different kind of stuff. And there was traffic on the roads. Where here, where I'm at, it's like dead silence. I'm telling you, it's just like it's different. And to boot, the sun was out and the sky was blue 20 minutes north of me. So I was kind of relieved. I was like, yay, I'm taking the babes out. And so we went down to the park, and we played, and we laughed, and we had a beautiful picnic lunch, and we fed the ducks, and we did all of this cool stuff, and we just really took in a couple hours of the day, getting out of the rut that is kind of around everybody right now. Because even up there, people are, seeing a shift. I did stop to see, is there toilet paper 20 minutes away from me? There's no toilet paper 20 minutes away from me. I don't think the state of Texas or the United States has toilet paper right now, which is funny. I don't understand the run on toilet paper. I really, really don't. Everybody, it was in Japan that they shut down the toilet paper plant due to everything. Not here. You're not going to get that bad of a case of the craps, dang. Yeah, for the people out there who actually need toilet paper or baby wipes. I was at Kroger, a grocery store yesterday, and they had just stocked the baby wipes, and I overheard the woman who was in the baby food aisle who was stocking, and she stamps back and she looks at the baby wipe aisle, and she just goes, we just filled this morning. What the heck? I'm like, wow. Everybody really is going to be like wiping their butts a lot over the next month, I guess. I don't know. I didn't realize that everybody, needed to use the facilities that much. Like, holy crap, how much literally. But that's not what today's conference is about. Today is actually about the importance of being you. The importance of being you. Much like here I am with this interesting app on, with the red lipstick and stuff, which is not really me. Although, I kind of like the red lipstick. It's not bad. It isn't. It's not bad. But the importance of being you. I have heard a lot of people talking about, getting ridiculed at this point. I know that my mentor is really getting hit hard right now because she's still, sharing her message. She's still doing her marketing. She's still running her business. She's in Australia and she's still running it. She's still doing the hustle and getting her message out there. And she really is a preacher of truth, a preacher of, living according to your core and speaking what your spirit, do not allow this life to go by without you stepping into who you are. And she's getting ridiculed right now, along with a whole bunch of other people that, that I'm engaged with and that I follow and that I have worked with and everything. And I see a lot of beautiful messengers out there really getting bombarded, including self. I've had a few people message me as well saying, how is it that you just that you're not, completely overboard on the coronavirus? Why are you not showing more panic? Why are you preaching actually the direct opposite? Why are you still out playing with your kids? Why are you still doing this? Why are you still marketing your programs and your coaching and your this? This is not a time for it. It is absolutely a time for all of us to really truly lean in and really let our messages be heard. Okay, right now what we need messages of hope. We need messages of faith. We need messages of community. We need messages of love. We need to bring the attention to community instead of to fear. This fear epidemic that we have, it is what's going to change our world more than anything. That downsloth of fear is what is going to cause the most damage. I'm telling you that is the critical issue there. I see, the reverse where a lot of people are leaning in, helping their neighbors, loving their neighbors, pulling together community, making beautiful offerings and everything. And that's more of what we need to be doing. This morning I woke up and I was, my guy, he brought me my morning cup of coffee, and I was listening to just some relaxing music and everything. And it was just so peaceful, so peaceful. It just rained and everything. And I had a really great night's sleep. And as I was laying there, I looked at him and I said, I wonder when we come out of this slumber, if everybody will be able to, on their first ventures out back into civilization, back into the culture that we have created, out of the stillness and the recreation of our communities, of our coming together, how is our reaction going to be to each other? Are we going to come at it from a place of gratitude, of look at the beautiful world around us, look at the other beautiful living beings that I get to share this world with? Or are we going to come out in haste and frustration and fear? Are we going to let this energy that right now, completely blankets society in so many different ways, are we going to really hold on to that? Or are we going to step forward and actually enter into, out of our slumber, in more of a place of peace, of stillness? Because we have a late last night, I finished up an article that it took me all day. Oh my God. This article yesterday, I'd done conscious coffee, and then I went into the beautiful photo shoot for me last week, and I wanted to put out a picture of from the photo shoot that she had done, and with it. And so I was writing this article, and of course somebody walked into my house, and my kids walked in here and there, and my guy, and we ended up having a conversation. Long story short, I ended up accidentally deleting my article. And I write my articles on Facebook because the way Facebook works, they help support, the longer you stay in the box writing as a business owner and everything, then the more Facebook actually supports your business page. So I write all my content in the box on Facebook, and I got sidetracked and somehow accidentally clicked the exit button, and there went 2/3 of an article, poof, gone. And I was just like, oh, F it, forget it. I'm going to just go cook dinner. So I went and I cooked dinner, and it came back to the drawing board, and I got the article out finally. And so I wrote this article, and it really is, it's about fear. It's about that right there, that the point of the article is not to focus on fear. It is to focus on the realization that we have a choice, and what is the message of the fear that we are being faced with right now. And the message of the fear really is truly to get in touch with who you are, to really act from that place of your core, of your truth, of your soul, of that God energy that moves through you. And that's what we're forgetting right now. I'm not going to go all religious on you or spiritual overboard here, but what I can tell you is that, God does move through you, and you're never abandoned. You're never alone. This is a time to really tap into that. This is a time to really restore your faith in not only in mankind and humankind, but also in the Creator, in something grander than self. My beautiful sister-in-law, Coral Lee, she is just coming back in from amazing training in Australia, actually, and she had posted something, and I shared it on my wall. Again, if you're not friends with me, go to my profile and look at some of the things that I posted recently. But she shared a beautiful article that somebody else had written, and I shared that earlier this morning, and it was talking about, that in China, where the streets were once hustle and bustle, you can now hear birds chirping, and the sky, which was so covered in pollution and everything, is now clearing, and there is blue. You can see the blue sky, and the clouds are fresh, and there are animals out that you have never seen before in different parts of the world. In Italy, people are keeping their windows open, and they are singing to their neighbors across the streets, and they are keeping their windows open so that anybody that is alone, that is in actual isolation all by themselves, can hear their neighbors singing and laughing and communicating, so that nobody feels alone. That is beautiful. That is the human spirits right there doing what it's supposed to be. We are a connective community, tribe, a world tribe. And it is in those so simple little things, that massive love is shared, that massive community is shared. And there's just this video going around about a woman fighting this little old lady over toilet paper, and there's all of this laughter and jokes around the fighting that's going on in grocery stores. And people say, I read someplace that somebody was in the parking lot and she literally got held up for her groceries in the parking lot, and somebody came and took all of her groceries. And and it's like, really? Meanwhile, I saw that my daughter had posted that anybody who had children and was dependent on the school system for breakfast and lunch, that since schools are getting shut down, that if they needed help, to message her, because she would help, even if it was to bring milk and cereal for breakfast, or some lunch bread and peanut butter and jelly to make some sandwiches, that she was willing to contribute whatever she could. And I was like, that's way, baby. Yeah. Let's do more of that. How can we contribute? How can we help each other? Are we going to let this health epidemic that our world is facing right now tear us apart and really show our darkness, our fear? Are we going to allow, like what in a very religious sense, are we going to allow Satan to rise up and take our lives from us, to steal our love, to steal our community? Is that what we're going to allow here? Because this is what we're being challenged with. We're being challenged with darkness coming in, which is that fear, that worry, that overconcern, that scarcity mindset of, I must go into total self-preservation, not realizing that self-preservation is actually distancing ourselves from that God energy, from flow, from source. It is limiting our ability to manifest the world that we want, the life that we want, and healing for all. And right now what we need is healing for all. No matter what the numbers are, I've read so many negative things and I've read so many positive things. I know that there is a lead, oh God, I can't think of the word. He does, statistics and everything, and I should post it on my Facebook page. I sent it off to a couple of people, but, he does statistics, and he was showing that he became basically a household name in China and everything, and the whole curve effect of what is going on with the coronavirus, that we reach this point and it does not continue to grow where it's doubling every 3 days or at a 30% level that we hear. We actually hit a tipping point and then it just starts to come down, because we are going into the isolation. We are doing these different things, and there has been a dramatic decline in new cases, a dramatic decline in deaths, but there's actually more people that are naturally immune to it than what was anticipated, because even on the cruise ship that had, like the highest concentration level, where everybody was contained on this cruise ship, where the air filtration was just recycling, they couldn't get, the fresh air, everybody was locked in, everyone was sharing the same cafeteria and all of this stuff. That would be like the best grounds for the coronavirus to grow. It was a very happy place for the virus, not a happy place for us human beings. And even there, only 20% of the people on that cruise actually became infected on that. And that was like 250,000, people. If you look at it, there's like so many people that are going, and here you got all of these numbers, and only 20% got it. So it's important to keep the truth out there and to keep your fear limited. But here's the other thing. It's really, really important to keep speaking who you are. And are you fear-based, or are you love-based? Are you going to be one of those that are going to, steal somebody's groceries in the parking lot, or fight a little old woman in the grocery store for 8 rolls of toilet paper? Or are you going to give your neighbor a couple rolls of toilet paper because you know that they don't have it? Are you going to actually post on your thread, or wherever you are making communication, say, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help? What can I do to help? What is the message that you have to bring? Is there a hopeful message that you can share? And what is your light? I keep preaching this all week long. It seems that this is definitely the message, because all the darkness, and we tend to get so caught up on the fear that it brings us all to this dark space. And what we don't realize is that we have a choice. We have a choice. What do you choose? Put in the comment section if you have it in your heart. Like, what do you choose? Are you willing to make that choice? Or are you just going to let the fear grab a hold of you and wash you up against the shore where you feel like you don't have a choice, where you get bombarded by all of that negativity? Or what are you going to focus in on? What are you going to choose? And then keep preaching your messages of faith, of connection. And are you going to stand behind those words, those messages? Or are you going to go into recluse scarcity mode and look at your neighbors as though they are, out to get you? The world is not out to get you. You are never abandoned. God is with you. God is moving through each and every one of us. And it is so important for us to just remember that, to remember our worthiness, to remember our value. And our true value comes from standing in who we are as individuals. We each have a beautiful purpose. We each have a beautiful message. We each have these beautiful hearts, and it is so, so important for us to get out there and get sharing that right now. And I mean right here, because we are going into isolation. It is the smartest thing to do to contain this virus, to get a hold of everything, to kind of bring ourselves down into a closure point, but still not be afraid to engage when we possibly can with safety, okay? And I say that because, as a relationship coach, as an abundance coach, I work with people every day. A lot of times I work right here on Facebook with people. I have my one-on-one clients that I see face-to-face in my office, which, is kind of limited right now. I have also a very large support system, my friends, my family, the people that I love and cherish the most, that I keep close and everything. And right now what I see is everybody not wanting to connect, scared of their lovers, scared of their children, scared of their brothers and their sisters. Everybody looking at everybody as though, oh my God, you could kill me. You could kill me. And that's not the truth. And it's not the truth at all. When we are engaging with people, realize that this bug is already moving around all of us, okay? And there is really truly that 20% that is going to get infected. The rest of us are going to come in contact and not be impacted nearly as much. Now, I'm not saying, like I've been saying all week, don't go and lick your neighbor's cheek, right? And I know that might be taking the fun out of it, but seriously, what we need to be doing is we need to look at how can we engage in a positive way. Don't fear snuggling your kids. Don't fear holding your partner and snuggling with them, or even kissing them. Now, granted, if they're sick, if they're showing signs, yeah, but you know what? Wouldn't you do that even if they had the common cold or a flu? If they had bronchitis, if they had some ailment right now? Well, yeah, we wouldn't go and get all lovey-dovey in their face and want to go. At least I hope you wouldn't push your partner to that level. It's one of those things, some common sense stuff. But we would still be willing to engage a little bit. And we need the engagement. We need the interaction. We need the coffee. Oh, is that not weird? Yeah, look at this. Ooh, that's weird. That's weird. Gotta love stuff. All right, hold on, time out. Somebody's at my door. Okay, it was nothing. Just a package. So, the importance of the message today that I want to drive home to you guys is to be you. To be you, to not stop being you, to not stop connecting. Reach out, call your friends, call your family, make contact, bring humor into the day, bring connection, let people know that you love them, but don't do it in the sense of, oh, I really hope that everything's going okay. I mean, ask yourself, am I coming at this from a place of fear and scarcity when I send this message? Or am I coming at it from a place of love and strength? Am I wanting to share light, or am I sharing darkness right now? Because we can use the same words in different ways. It is our intent behind them. We really need to focus in on what that intent is. This is really a time that we are being tested in our scarcity thinking, in our truth-based connection. Are we going to be authentic or not? Now, if your authenticity is to be of darkness, to be of scarcity, to be of fear, which FYI, none of us at our core are that, okay? All of us are abundant, beautiful, strong, manifesting people. We are worthy of everything, and we can have it all, and we can move through everything that we are challenged with right now if we get into alignment with that strength, that power that resides within us, that beautiful consciousness that has created this world. And if we really truly get the lessons that we're supposed to get from this, which I am a believer that this is a time for us to really tap into, the message being, what is the higher consciousness of everything? What is the message that we're supposed to be getting from this? And what is fear trying to teach us right now? Because we have a world that is really about fear right this very second. And I encourage, as I have been all week long, asking everybody to try to become just that little sparkle of light, because every focuses in on connection is just making life a little bit better. Our ripples right now with our messages, with our love, with our ability to connect, and that's what is going to make the impact so much stronger with love around the world. And realize that when we do come out of this, because humanity will survive, and more of us will survive than what you might believe, okay? And, as we come out of this hibernation, this slumber that we are being put into, it is really, really important to go, what is that new phase of life for all of us going to look like? What do we want to manifest there? Do we want to go back to this hustle and bustle, to this, neighbors not knowing each other? Continue to live in this online world where I see people, still even today, with the limited amount of cars on the road, I see people that are driving down the road and they're like reading, they're scrolling through Facebook, they're driving and they're reading a Facebook, or they're driving and they're reading an actual book, or they're doing something and they're not even being present. This is a time that, you're hopefully, and forgive me for saying this, but hopefully we're quarantined for a long enough period that everybody can work through all needing to really become recluse and secluded within themselves, and they go, I really want to connect. Like, is so valuable, and we have lost connection over the course of time. We have lost our ability to actually relate to each other. You see people standing around in groups and they're texting each other instead of talking to each other. They send each other lovey-dovey things instead of actually connecting in love with each other. This is ridiculous. This right now, hopefully we come out of this and we go, wow, community is important. Connection is important. Presence is important. And, that's what my message is. That's at my core. My message has always been about be the change that you wish to see in the world. Is my favorite quote of all time from Gandhi, and it has been my lifelong thing that I carry with me, because I really, people get upset with me for not answering my phone, for not getting back to text messages as quickly as they wish I would, responding to emails as quickly as they wish I would, because this world lives in this world of, hey, I text you, you should respond back in the next 5 seconds, or you should be responding back before you even receive that kind of thing. And I don't do that. I deliberately let some time lapse on it, and I leave my phone laying all over the place, and I am focused when I am with somebody. When somebody is in front of me, they are the most important person in the room. It's not my phone. It's not the email. It's not anything else that's going on. I actually am present. Guess what? When I'm out on a date with my guy, or I'm out with a friend of mine, or with one of my kids, because I love to date my kids, right? I love to date my kids. And when I'm out with them. I'm with whoever I'm with. The presence level is the important piece. And that is the change that I wish to see in this world. is that we become more present in who we are so that we can become more present with each other. There's so much healing, so much growth that can come from that. That is that higher level of consciousness that is yet to be fulfilled. We had it, we used to have it eons ago. And our technology, this world that we are drastically made us so unpresent. We can't retain information. We're not doing knowledge and education, but we only can grab a hold of it in little increments. Sit down with a 600-page book, around archaeology, one of my favorites, like Graham Hancock. But, do that. People can't do that today. People cannot sit down and just read a book today, or just sit in meditation for 20 or 30 minutes. The majority of people are scared to sit within themselves without some sort of online engagement, gaming, TV, music, something we cannot do, but we must go within in that silence to be able to become present with another person. I hope that this isolation teaches a few people out there, just a few people out there, just that lesson alone. Because if we can walk out of this with joy for life and a new presence in our relationship and with ourselves, then this coronavirus ends up being a blessing instead of a curse. And that is the way I choose to look at things, is how can this become a silver lining instead of so much fear? We really have to bring our attention to that, because there is a greater picture of what is going on. And I'm not talking conspiracy mind here. I'm talking about spiritual consciousness here. There is something greater at play and the lessons that we need to learn in that. So I encourage you today, once again, the importance of you. What is the message that you are bringing to the table? How are this? What is the change that you wish to see in the world? And are you stepping forward and actually being it? The importance of you being you is more important now than ever. We need more people really authentically standing in who they are, from that core of soul, from that core of that God force moving through you, and letting that voice be heard, letting that connection be felt. What do you choose? Leave it in the comment section. Private message me, text, email. Don't come knocking on my door. No. Yeah. Outside of that, learn this Saturday, just a couple days from now, I am happy to share with everybody. I have put together a beautiful, about 90-minute online training where I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I have learned over the course of the last few weeks of study. I'm also going to be sharing some of the things that I have learned over the last 25 years, pulling from my nutritional certification, pulling from my spiritual stuff, and also relationship coaching and training and everything. I want to kind of wrap everything up for you, because this whole plague that we are under and the whole aspect of isolation, it is pulling us more into fear. And unfortunately, what that's doing is it's sabotaging our relationships, it's sabotaging our health, and it's sabotaging our wealth in so many different ways. I know that Trump says that he's sending out money. I heard something about $1,000 check going to each tax-paying adult citizen in the United States. Yippee yay. I don't know about you, but $1,000 is like, it's a blessing. But if you don't have the savings in place, the next 30 to 60 days of your world could be a little bit shaky. And there's ways around it. There's things that you can do to implement. There's people that, are jumping out of different things and losing money right now. We don't need to get really, really overly reactive about things. I have people telling me that they're not sick and there's nothing sick going on in their house, but that they're not going to touch their kids. They're not going to kiss their kids good night. They're not kissing their partners good morning in the morning. They're not having sex. I think that I saw Dr. Oz say that sex is, the thing that you should be doing. I agree with him. Have more sex if you possibly can, whether that is with self or with another. Sex definitely boosts the immune system. It also helps us if we are having good sex, gourmet sex. It's kind of sex that I like to talk about and like to experience, where we're actually dropping our bodies, being present and having really deep, good orgasms. That boosts the immune system. That also puts out positive chemicals into our system so that we are thinking more positively and that we are more connective. And that is important. So I'm going to be going not just intimate relationship stuff, how to keep our intimate relationships stronger, to keep the relationships with our children, with our families, with everything closer and stronger and healthy. An important topic here of health. Keeping the anxiety down, keeping the worry down, keeping the stress down. What are the things that you can do around that in your relationships, in your health? What are those topics? I've put together 10 plus secrets that I am definitely making use of over the course of this quarantine time, this massive shifting in our world and of new viewpoints to come about. I am definitely making use of these 10 plus safeguards, and I would like to share them with you. So click on the comments in the comment section on the link for that. Sign up for that class. It is this coming Saturday. It will be recorded. It will be available for a little bit as we move through the corona and everything else that who knows what's coming, right? Who knows what's coming from this? But like I said, I want you to really, who do you choose to be? How do you choose to show up in the midst of all of this? Are you standing in fear and away and separating yourself from that beautiful God energy that moves through you, from your core, from your soul? You standing in strength, in love, in faith, in certainty? How are you showing up for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for your world today? Leave it in the comment section if you so feel called. Otherwise, just ponder that for a moment. Think about it, breathe it in, and ask yourself truly, am I being a positive influence or am I being a negative influence to this world health crisis right now? And as always, remember that you are worthy. Remember that you are valuable. Remember that God does move through you and that your message matters. And you're never, ever alone. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Probably not with this like weird red stuff on my face, but it was fun, right? And now I know that red lipstick looks good on me. I don't think I've worn red lipstick since I was like 15. I tried it on, but I was so pale when I was 15. I thought that the sun was really, really bad for me, so I avoided the sun at all costs. And I was like milky white. I'm telling you, this was the color of my skin. Not to mention, a little unknown fact, to some out there, to a lot out there, I had this Elvira thing going on when I was a teenager. When I was about 17, I dyed my hair jet black, and I actually put powder on my face to make my skin even milkier white. And I never worn a lot of makeup, but back then I actually put on a little bit of foundation and made my skin really, really light colored, which was interesting. Can't believe I did that. And then I wore like dark goth clothes, and they were, yeah, I was in a phase for about 18 months of my life. Very, very different from the sun hopping, beach hopping, love hair and suntan personality of today. But that was then. This is now. And yeah, I don't even know how I got on that. Oh, the red lipstick. Yeah, but that was, oh yeah. From that phase, I remember I did go to bright red lipstick for a little bit and short red hair. Like I had this like short red hair, Sheena Easton style. All right. I love you guys. I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Be safe, be well, and keep your focus on the positive. Are you the light or are you the darkness? Ask yourself that today, and I'll see you tomorrow.